everyone, I'm doing a monthly favorites and chat catch up for the month of April. I haven't done like a favorites video in a while, but I thought I would, do them because I like watching them and they seem a lot of fun. And I don't want this to be like, here's a bunch of new things I bought, but so not necessarily everything is like brand new. It's more like these are the things I'm really enjoying this month. So I'm gonna start with kind of the cards and books and things, and then maybe some other items, and just kind of do like a little check-in and all that kind of stuff for what's been going on for the month of April. So first, I just want to talk about some of the decks that I've been really loving. If you follow me on Instagram or watch my tarot horoscope videos, you know that I've been working with the Chrysalis Tarot. And I have been enjoying this deck. It is a different system than the Rider-Waite system. She has definitely, the author has made her own system. I'm really glad I got the book that came with it because there's like a little white book that you get when you get like the box of cards. But it's your pretty generic little white book. I really liked the bigger book because it really explained the thought that went into things and why she picked the things that she did. So well, the system itself, isn't necessarily my favorite. The artwork on this is just gorgeous and beautiful, and I just think they're a fabulous artist. So even like the back is beautiful. Like I love the colors and how much detail she goes into things, and then even just that she's changed some of the names for the different major arcana. I'm okay with that because she included the traditional name, but she really has her own take on things, and I have to say that I do appreciate when people have their own take. I may not always be like my favorite thing or agree with them all the time, but I do love when people do put that thought into there, and it definitely adds to the tarot conversation, which I think is very important. So as you can see, it's just like gorgeous artwork. And this is one of those decks where online I was kind of on the fence about it, but then when I saw it in real life, I just thought that the artwork was just really stunning and too beautiful to pass up. So I'm glad I added this to my collection. So that's the Chrysalis Tarot. The other deck I've been using, and this one I've been using for daily draws for myself, is Colette Baron-Reid's new deck, The Good Tarot. It's a terrible title, I have to say, but I really like this deck, and I think it's a deck that is good for personal draws, which is what I find most of her decks are really good for. I like the map, and I like the Wisdom of the Oracle. So it's in your pretty standard Hay House box, and you've got your little book and stuff. And she uses the definitions in there. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this for beginners necessarily, just because it's more like affirmations and stuff, but I think that's why it lends itself to be a good daily draw deck. And this is another one where when I saw it online, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. Like I had pre-ordered it already because I really like her stuff. But then when I got it, I love the dreaminess of this. I love the colors. It's been a really wonderful deck, like a very gentle deck to work with for daily affirmations. So it kind of gives you, I do a daily draw, and it gives you kind of something to focus on for the day, very much in the same way that like the Enchanted Map or the Wisdom of the Oracle does, and it gives you kind of ideas what energies are heading into the day. So again, I don't think I'd use this necessarily for readings for others, but as a personal deck just for daily draw, it works really well. And I find the artwork on here is just like I said, it's pretty stunning. So and I like that kind of stuff. So I like it when a deck has good artwork because I am an artist and I enjoy good artwork. And again, it's like, kind of that dreamy, it is like a computer manipulated style of art, which I don't usually like, but this one I do really like. Like it's very well done. So enjoying this deck. So that is one of my favorites. As for books I've been reading, a couple of books. I usually have like 3 or 4 books on the go, which is really bad. So, it takes me a little while to finish things because I'm jumping around to other books. It's a bit of a problem I have. So the first, and I did finish this book, is called, it's from 2013, but I hadn't heard of it before, but it's You Are a Badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. And it's one of these books where it has these little bite-sized chapters. And she's really funny, and I like that she swears in the book, and she talks about how she used to play in a really bad punk band, and she just talks about, like, you know, all the crazy stuff she did when she's younger, and self-help in a way that isn't like super mushy or like you know, super airy-fairy. She talks about what worked for her, and it's just a very like fun book that's very realistic and down to earth, and she's divided into several parts. The first is how you got this way, and then it's how to embrace your inner badass, how to tap into the mother lode, how to get over your BS, and how to kick some ass. So she talks about everything from like money and attitudes towards money to like you know, things like gratitude. You know, it was pretty standard in like self-help type stuff. What else talks about forgiveness? But she talks in a way that's kind of refreshing and not sort of your standard kind of overly fluffy sort of way, maybe is what I'm looking for. You know, not to take yourself so seriously, and things like that. And just it's a funny, good read. Procrastination. What else she talks about here? About fear and how we're held back by fear, and it's just really about, this book really boils down to, it's really just about being yourself, your real self, and being unapologetic about it, and going for what you want, and doing, you know, doing what's right for you, as long as it's not hurting others. And as she said, hurting others isn't about, you know, offending someone or being outside of the box of what they thought you were like. You know, is it actually hurting someone? And if not, then be yourself. Don't waste time trying to be what somebody else thinks that you should be, is sort of the message of this book. So I really like this book. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable read. And then the other book that I started reading, and I'm kind of halfway through, so I don't have like a full review or anything on it, is Joanne Nagler's How to Be an Artist Without Losing Your Mind Shirt or Your Creative Compass. So this is actually one of the best practical books I've seen about being an artist. So it's not just sort of like the idea of being a creative person, and those books are good too and have their place, but this kind of gets into nuts and bolts of things. Like, the first part is about answering the call, and how being an artist, like in our society, it's very production-based society and results-based society, and if you're going to do something like being an artist, people around you want to be immediately successful and good at it, and what they don't understand is that art takes time to develop. And so it's saying that your job as an artist isn't to judge how it's going to turn out or how it's going to be received in the world. Your job is to make the art. So just get on with it and make the art. So you have a calling, and if you have a calling, you have a responsibility to answer that call. So you have to make your art, which I totally agree with. Because I find too, if I'm not making art, I kind of go a little crazy, a little nuts, get a little cranky, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so the first part's about answering the call, and the second's about getting a day job, and saying how, like, there's, you know, the whole romance around being a starving artist, but if you are worried about where the rent and the food is going to come from, you're not going to be able to make art. So get a job that doesn't crush your soul, that pays the bills. And then she talks about money and managing your money. And I'm in right now about mastering your time, organizing your time for making art. So, and then the other parts are about work ethics, mapping out your art life, so mapping things out for the future, and motivating yourself. So it's actually like, if you're an artist or a creative person, like not necessarily visual arts, it could be any kind of creative art, I would highly recommend this book. It's very practical, down to earth, and to the point, and I appreciate that. So that's why I've been reading. I didn't really get too much as far as like crystals. Yesterday I went to my local metaphysical shop and I picked up some rose quartz. I know, terribly exciting. The thing with me and rose quartz is I always buy rose quartz, and then inevitably somebody I know is going through something and I say, here's a piece of rose quartz for you. And then I have no rose quartz. So until I find the next person that needs it, this is my rose quartz little piece for now. And the other thing I got is Tektite. It's very light. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like the coal that I have. I have some coal over there from when we were filming Worst Driver. There was coal out in the field. It has that kind of feeling, like it's deceptively light. I think it's because it's fossilized wood. I'll have to look it up, but it's very grounding, and it helps apparently to integrate, you know, when you've had bad experiences in life, to help you to sort of diminish the negativity of it, but keep the lessons. And I could sure use that, like keep the lessons of the negative things that happen, but you know, you want to eliminate some of that negative residue. So I really like it. I think they're both kind of nice little stones. So that's what I got. The other things I got that have been my favorites this month are not necessarily cards or books. First, I'm going to show you my little guys that if you watched my unboxing video of the Good Tarot, you've already seen 2 of these guys, but the 3rd one came. So I got some GNR, what do they call them? Pop. I can't remember what they call them. Future Pop, something. Anyway, they're the little Funko Pop. I can't remember. Anyway, they're the little figurines. So there's Doth and Slash, and they're so cute. And then finally, a week later, traveling separately and late, of course, is Axel. So I got them, and I think they're super cute. Oh my god, like I'd seen these little Funko Pop, that's it. I'd seen these little figures for like all sorts of different things in the mall, but none of them quite appealed to me. But then when I saw these, I was like, oh my god, I have to get those. So I got them. They're so cute. Oh my god. So they just brighten my day. I know it's silly, but whatever. It makes me happy. And then as far as like beauty stuff, there hasn't been like anything like super huge. I do have to say what I've been enjoying is for like skincare, I got this Aveeno Absolutely Ageless Restorative Night Cream with blackberry. Is it there? And I really love this. This is really nice. Like it's got like, I think it's got a little bit of retinol or something in it, where it kind of like, I don't want to say burns because it doesn't, but you can know, you can feel that little acid sort of tingling, that where it's like, you know, it's helping to eliminate some of the like dead cells on your face. It's got a little bit of that feeling, but it's light. It's not like a super heavy cream. And it's also got a really nice smell as well. Yeah, it's very nice, very fresh. So I really like this, especially for summer. I've been enjoying using this, and it's not super expensive, and I like Aveeno stuff. Like it was nice. And then the other thing I got that I was impressed with, that I want to tell people about, is a dry shampoo. It's the Got to Be Rocking, Forever Style Stay Dry shampoo. I was using the, I think it was the Tresemme dry shampoo, and there's nothing wrong with it. It certainly works fine, and it smells good, but this stuff was super great. Like the other stuff I had to spray like a lot on my hair to get a result. This is like, it just comes out like super powerful, and it really works on my hair, and I find it gives it good texture, and it really helps to refresh my hair, because when you have colorful hair like this, you don't want to be washing it all the time, because you're going to wash the color out. So again, like to keep my color, I wash it in cold water, but I don't wash it, definitely don't wash it every day. I wash it every 4 to 5 days, and I'll dry shampoo in between things just to keep it fresh. So and as you can tell, I just got my hair redone, and I'm really loving the color. So anyway, I would recommend this if you're looking for a dry shampoo. And then the other thing I've been kind of obsessed with lately is, you know me, cherry soda. This is the Wild Cherry Pepsi. I find it's not quite as cherryish as the Cherry Coke, but here in Canada we don't, I know in the States you can get Cherry Coke wherever, but you can't in Canada. Like there are some places you have to really look. They usually have to import it. Last 2 summers they had it out like just for the summer, so to get my cherry cola fix, I am liking the cherry Pepsi. So those are my favorites for the month of April. As for what I've been up to, it's been kind of a crazy month, because I made a video a while back this past month about the whole Doreen Virtue and Jesus thing, and I really did not think that many people would be interested in it. I thought, oh well, some of my subscribers might be interested because I have Doreen Virtue decks, right? It went crazy. I think I'm at like 15,000 views or something ridiculous, and usually like I'm just like a little YouTuber, like, you know, I usually get like 60 views on my stuff, but it went like crazy. Every day I still get comments from people. Luckily, like most of it's been positive, but it's been a really interesting experience for me, because I also got a lot of negative comments as well, and people that disagree, and I don't mind people disagreeing as long as it's respectful, because we're not all going to agree, and that is okay. but just like weird stuff about like, you know, demons and darkness and all this stuff. And I made a video about that as well, kind of reacting to that. But it has been interesting because I had to really separate myself from, you know, like those people making the comments